Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 26 of the Player to Player podcast. What is that? 26. I'm Kirk.
I'm Luke.
And today, we're going to go over some new upcoming games that are coming out this month. We're going to talk about the Splatfest that's going on. Yep. Pokemon Splatfest theme, kind of. And then, what else? Something else?
Why video game movies suck.
Oh, yeah. We got the Mario trailer.
Yep.
And it just got us thinking, these movies are usually very bad. Why is everybody so excited about this? So we'll see. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that a little bit. But first, let's look at the games we have coming out for the rest of this month. You want to pull up that list, Luke?
Yeah. So yesterday, let's find.
Yesterday.
There's a game that just came out yesterday.
Oh, what's that? PC Building Simulator 2.
Here.
Oh, No More Heroes 3
just came out yesterday.
Oh,
as of listening to the podcast.
No More Heroes 3 just came out?
Yeah, it's coming out. I mean, as of recording, it's coming out soon. But as of listening,
I could have sworn that came out like a year ago. That's wild. It's just been in marketing for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, good. No More Heroes 3 finally came out. That'll be on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, and Series S, and PC. It came out for Switch that long ago.
Oh, okay.
I was
see.
So confused why, but now it's coming to everything else.
That makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just go through this list, see what we like, and
yeah. Next October 12th is PC Building Simulator 2 for PC. That sounds kind of interesting. I
hope it's VR.
VR.
Yeah,
oh,
so
that
I
would
can
be
just
cool.
Build my PC.
Oh, that would be sweet.
That
actually,
I can't afford.
Oh my gosh, that'd be fun. The cool thing about VR and the metaverse is you could build your PC in VR and then you run games from that PC.
Yeah, or make it look like it at least.
Well, I mean, hypothetically,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Scorn is finally coming out. That's October 14th. I'm gonna drive because Luke can't read. That's coming to Xbox Series X and S and PC. This is the really weird looking. Let me pull it up for you so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what Scorn is.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm stoked for this. It's got the Aliens vibe. More Prometheus vibes, I'd say. But it looks weird and gross, but it looks really good. Plague Tale Requiem is finally coming out for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Plague Tale, the first one's really good, so this one looks great. And I love they're continuing the story and making the protagonist even more badass. So it looks really good. Let's see. Marvel Snap is coming out October 18th. That's for iOS, Android, and PC. This looks terrible.
Sorry,
please don't play this.
Listeners?
Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC.
Are you excited for this?
Yes, I am.
Really?
I think so. Is this the same thing I think it is?
I mean, yeah, it's the Ghostbusters game.
Yeah, this looks awesome. Why would I not be excited
I don't know.
about this?
Ghostbusters has never interested me.
That's because you haven't seen it.
I know the theme song.
That's because you
what
haven't
else do
seen
need to
it.
know?
The movie, it's so good. I'm shocked that as like a spooky fan, you haven't seen Ghostbusters.
It's a comedy.
Yeah, but it's a spooky comedy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's see. Plague Tale, Ghostbusters.
Bunch of just
a new Jackbox Party
random
Pack
stuff.
is coming out.
Oh, that's cool.
October 20th. Jackbox Party Pack 9.
Yeah,
that
there's
is
a ton
insane.
of them.
October 20th, we have Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That's for Switch.
Is that a day one pickup for you?
Sparks of Hope? Yeah, definitely. I'm stoked. Day 2 pickup, day 1 pickup the next day, is Persona 5 Royal coming to Switch. And I am elated.
Haven't you played Royal?
Yeah, and I'm going to play it again on my Switch.
On Switch.
Yes, because, well, the thing about Royal is it's like, I think I put 115 hours into that game, and I did not leave my couch. I was like stuck there. And so for Persona 5 Royal on Switch, I can take this when I'm sitting in the car doing Uber.
At the park.
I can take it to the park. I can wherever. And this game is perfect for that because there's so many grindy elements. There's so many different things that you can do day to day. It's just such a fun game, and to be able to have it with me all the time is
I get that.
exciting. So, Gotham Knights is coming out October 21st. Finally, this game has been marketed forever. I don't know. I don't know.
Is this the same people who made the Arkham games?
I'll probably wait. No, it's not.
It's not.
The people that made the Arkham games are making the Suicide Squad game.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. I might wait for reviews on Gotham Knights.
Okay.
But yeah. Then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 comes out October 20. Is that 28th? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Is that a day
I'll be
one?
playing that. So I'm game sharing it with someone. So I'll probably play the campaign through game share, and then if I really like the gameplay, then I'll pick it up to do multiplayer.
And then Bayonetta 3 comes out that same day. That's probably a day one for me as well. And again that same day, Resident Evil Village comes out on cloud.
Shoot, maybe you should sell your lightsaber.
On Switch.
You got a lot of stuff coming out this month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of games. So yeah, we've got a pretty packed lineup, and that was just the stuff that we picked that stands out. There's obviously a whole bunch of other things coming out. There's new video games coming out every single day. But those are the highlights of what's coming out for the rest of October. Some cool stuff, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
It's cool that Ghostbusters is coming out, Bayonetta is coming out.
Yeah, lots of October stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of feeling.
Totally. Gotham Knights.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's all for the games coming out. Next up, we have the Splatoon X Pokemon Splatfest. If you're not super familiar with Splatoon, they do their tournaments every month, and they always have a theme. Since they used to have two teams, they would do like ketchup and mustard, or mayonnaise and mustard, and then they did like a whole condiment cup. It was kind of funny.
Sure.
And it's funny to do the different themes that they have. But this theme is kind of cool because
awesome.
They're teaming up with Pokemon to promote the game coming out next month.
Settling the age-old debate: grass type, fire type, or water type.
Exactly.
Who's gonna win?
Well, if it was based on like the game, it would be water type.
But who's going to win?
I mean,
who has the which?
I don't know the teams. I don't know the players. I don't know.
Type has the best player base in Splatoon 3 is what I'm saying.
That's the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. How am I supposed to know that answer?
Okay, what type is the favorite? What is everyone's favorite type? Like in general.
That's not
people are typically go for fire, right?
That's like
water,
asking what's the favorite type, Republicans or Democrats? I don't know. Everybody hates both of them.
That's I don't think that's the same.
It is the same. Everybody loves all of these.
No, I hate all grass type Pokemon.
No, you don't.
That's true. I do like all of them. I'm just trying to get a prediction out of you. Who's gonna win the tournament?
I don't care.
Whatever. You're no fun.
Also, I can't base a Splatoon tournament off of a Pokemon
fire type
rule.
Fire type's gonna win.
No,
okay,
they will not.
Fire type.
Anyways, that'll be a cool tournament, and I'm sure they'll do some cool, fun Pokemon themed things around it. Sure. Probably not in game, but you know.
Yeah. When is that? November 11th.
Splatfest. Oh, did I not say? Yeah, November 11th.
All right.
So. PlayStation Plus games for October. We've got Hot Wheels Unleashed. It's coming to PS4 and PS5. That's cool. I actually have wanted this game. I'd rather have it on Switch, but it's free, so I'll definitely download it. That's a relatively new game too. So
yeah,
that's a banger. Injustice 2 for PS4, great game. I really like that. That's the one with the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So
wait, can you play the PS4 ones on the PS5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's not the PS5 version.
Well, there's not a PS5
right,
version.
that's what I mean though.
Yeah.
But you can play all three of these on your PS5.
So every month they give you one PS5 game and two PS4 games.
Okay.
And if you have a PS5, you get all three of those. If you have a PS4, you only get the
I see.
I think you can add them to your library, but obviously you can't play them.
Right.
Yeah. So Injustice 2, great game, love it. And then also Super Hot, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
this
it's a
is
great game.
this makes up for all
Have
summer.
you played the one on console?
No.
It's different than the VR one.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a solid 3.
I think
3
VR
games.
Superhot is one of the best video game experiences I've
100%.
had in several years.
I would put
it
it
was-
in my top 10
It was
ever.
maybe
It
the
was
most
amazing.
immersive 45 minutes of
Absolutely.
a video
it was
gaming
so
for
much
me.
fun.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So yeah, that's 3 like really good games.
Yeah.
So that's again, that makes up for their summer of garbage.
And if you want to see a few really bad games, just
Head
look
over to
the
Xbox. Well, okay, so to be fair, the only thing Xbox has really going for it right now is Game Pass, which is maybe the best deal in video games.
Yeah.
The fact that you can pay $15 a month to get access to 200 plus games,
Oh, of course.
at least 50 of which are like 10 out of 10 games. It's Game Pass is great. So, because of that, Games with Gold has suffered a lot because
Definitely. Yeah.
the games that they have I've never even heard of. I wanted to read about these and I got bored.
Bomber Crew Deluxe Edition. And
Great.
ready for it?
Windbound. Yeah. I don't know. Windbound looked kind of interesting, but
Sure.
I started to read about it and it looks not great. So if you want to waste your time downloading those, feel free. But PlayStation definitely
Yeah,
wins
and make sure to
this
check
round.
Amazon Prime Gaming, Epic Store Gaming, also for free games. I didn't find anything specifically on those ones, but they usually do monthly stuff also, so those are worth looking at
Yeah.
as well.
Well, it's time, Luke. The
Chris Pratt.
the Super Mario
It's a
movie
me.
trailer. He didn't even say that. He didn't
Nope.
even say "Let's go." He said "Let's go."
Yep. So let's talk about the trailer.
Okay.
So the trailer opens with Bowser, right?
Yeah.
And coming to the ice world realm. I don't know what it's called.
It's brand new.
Oh, it is? Really?
Yeah. So
okay.
the penguins have been a race of like creatures in the Mario
Yeah.
games for a long time.
That's why I assumed it was.
But they've never had their own like domain.
Okay.
And this is a cool addition. Like I think it's
Yeah.
cool that they have this big crazy ice palace. And so Bowser rolls up on these guys and is like,
You mean Jack Black?
whatever. That's Bowser. So yes. Yeah, Jack Black.
He sounded like Jack Black to me.
Yeah, he's Bowser.
I understand that.
What are you trying to say?
I'm disappointed with all of the voices.
Oh, I thought the voice was perfect for Bowser.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me even slightly. I actually thought it was excellent. Anyways, they roll up to the penguins. This part was really funny. They like throw all their snowballs
Yeah.
at them. And then
Nothing
they're like,
happens.
that is but a taste of our power. Do you yield? And then Bowser just burns down
Burns
the
down
whole ice
castle.
palace.
Yeah.
So cool. You have to at least say this. It looks incredible.
Definitely.
It
looks
is
great.
Gorgeous. This is the best looking Bowser I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean
Like-
the entire trailer looks good.
I think so too.
The
I'm
ice
not actually
domain looks
sold on
good.
Mario, but
Mario looks a tad weird,
Yeah.
but not.
I think we'll get used to it though.
Yeah. Bowser looks good. All of the penguins looked good.
Yeah.
All of Bowser's minions
Okay,
looked
so
good.
the Magic Koopa or Kamek, if
Uh-huh.
that's who it was, I actually thought the voice for him was perfect.
Really?
Yeah, like when he started talking, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Sure.
Like I thought the voice actor did a good job. I thought like it made sense for Kamek. All of the Koopas, how they're all like individual a little bit. How like one's got a
Right.
hat, and one's
Yep.
got a bandolier. I like that a lot because in Mario in the games, like they
Right,
allow
a Koopa is a
basically
Koopa.
no
Yeah.
variation. So that was pretty cool to see. Yeah, I don't know. The voice of like the Penguin King, I thought was good. Like
Yeah, that was fine. That was
so,
good. Yeah, and then so we go from there directly to Mushroom Kingdom, right?
I don't remember. I guess so.
Yeah, we go to Mushroom Kingdom and Mario
Falls out of a pipe.
Falls out of a pipe and is confused where he is.
Yeah. What is this?
He's
place?
not sure.
Yeah.
He's not sure where he is.
It's
So
an
it
origin
sounds like-
story.
Yeah, exactly. This is the first time
One-
Mario has been to Mushroom
And his
Kingdom.
boss has been cast, like from the Wrecking Crew. So like
Oh, really?
he's gonna come from probably New Donk City, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
To the Mushroom
You don't
Kingdom.
think it's just like Brooklyn?
I hope not.
A bunch of like regular
Oh my
regular
gosh.
people and Mario's there.
Oh, dude, I swear if Chris Pratt wears overalls in this movie and then gets sucked into a pipe.
Tell me you're not a tad worried about it.
I wasn't until right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Dude, I swear if this starts in Brooklyn, I'm going to lose it.
Who's playing Luigi?
I don't care. Charlie Day.
Charlie Day. So Chris Pratt and Charlie Day in overalls.
Dude, I
with
swear.
a red hat and a green hat.
Oh no.
Plumbing away.
If they fall into a toilet and then come out. Oh my gosh. Please, please, God. Don't let that happen. Oh my goodness.
I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, that would be rough.
But Mario falls into Mushroom Kingdom and he's confused, doesn't it? First time in Mushroom Kingdom.
And then he goes, "What is this place? Yeah. I'm Chris Pratt." Like no accent at all.
No.
He even made it sound like he was doing a voice in one of the interviews he did.
Uh-huh.
And he's not. He's just doing Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Mushroom Kingdom, here we come.
Yeah, it was weird.
Did you see the video on IGN where they replaced all the lines with Charles Martinet?
No.
He like falls out and he goes, "Don't," and he's like, "What? Oh,
see, I don't.
Let's go."
I don't think that would be good either. Though.
I would love it. I'm already like down to re-edit the whole movie.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I understand why they went with Chris Pratt, and I think. I think it could grow on everyone.
I think it's weird.
Well, I do too, but we'll see.
Jack Black as Bowser, I think, is perfect. I also like. I didn't even the one part where he's like, "Now nobody can stop me." Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
That part felt weird, a little. But when he first came out and he was like, "I do not," and like did that, like he's got a little bit of the growly, like deep, scary voice.
Sure.
And I don't remember Jack Black playing a villain that I can think of.
Yeah.
And he does it really well. And I love Jack Black. So
I'm skeptical yet hopeful
Yeah.
for the movie. But I don't know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if it's any good, and hopefully it is. Unlike most video game movies.
Yeah. So
why is it that they can't? Why have we not got a good video game movie?
Well,
basically ever.
We've never. It's not that we've never gotten a good one. I actually like Sonic
I've heard good things about Sonic.
and Sonic 2, but they're nothing like the video game.
Right.
It's like.
Is that the
Do you remember the movie Dustin Checks In?
No.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Where the monkey goes into the hotel with the kid?
Oh yeah, I do remember that actually.
Yeah. It feels like that genre of movie when it's about a goofy character who's like an alien or an animal or
Sure.
George of the Jungle, something like that.
Yeah.
And they put him into a real life situation and it's so funny. Ha ha ha. Like that's what the Sonic movie felt like a little bit. But the references to the video games and the characters, they nailed Sonic and Tails, I think.
Sure.
You know? And Sonic 2 was really good, in my opinion, as far as that kind of movie goes.
Right.
As far as a video game movie, it was terrible. Like, but I accepted it for what it was, and then I was able to enjoy it.
Sure, and I mean, I'm okay with them making movies about video game characters that don't feel like a video game.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's part of the problem is when they make it, they want it to feel like really close to a video game, where they want it to follow a similar video game storyline.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like, movies don't follow video game storylines.
Well, except for the ones where the video games are movie storylines, like Uncharted and all of those kind of things.
Exactly.
So-
But Uncharted,
I didn't see Uncharted.
I didn't either, but
But-
it got terrible reviews.
Okay, but Tomb Raider was excellent.
The movie?
Yeah, the new
yeah, I
one
don't-
with Alicia Vikander.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it was really good.
Wait, new? When did that come out?
4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. No,
Not the Angelina Jolie ones.
Yeah, I
Those are
never
not
saw
good.
that one.
Yeah, that I like that one a lot. And that one follows more kind of the Square Enix Tomb Raider games, where she's a novice and learning to be the Tomb Raider. And I thought that was pretty good. But for the most part, like the Mortal Kombat movie, the Mario Brothers movie,
Assassin's Creed,
Resident Evil. Resident Evil. Resident Evil's really bad. The new Resident Evil, where they did Welcome to Raccoon City. Did you watch that one?
Mm-mm.
That one was okay, but it was like the problem with video games is they don't make good movies in the sense that they are not written that way. Like movies are written for a 2-hour time slot.
Right.
They have character development, they have a tight, concise plot. And they're you as a audience member have no agency over what happens in a movie. Like you are there for the experience. There are some video games that are like that, where you like quick time events or
Telltale games are like that, right?
guided things. Sure, Telltale games. Again, I think of Uncharted, where you kind of just hold the stick forward for a lot of things.
Sure.
For big set pieces, anyways.
Yeah.
And you don't have really any control over what happens in a movie. Video games are totally different medium. And this is what I think people don't understand. Video games are designed for you to think and to involve yourself and to make decisions and to learn and to overcome obstacles and to go through all of that. The closest thing you can do with that in a movie is like mystery or drama, where you kind of get involved in the story and you think about things and you try to figure out, maybe like Knives Out, for example, you're trying to figure out the whole time who did what. So that kind of involves you a little bit, but not anywhere on the same level.
No, of course not. Because if Knives Out was a video game, you'd be playing that main character. You'd be talking to everyone. There'd be a bunch of dialogue options.
You'd be choosing your dialogue. You'd be looking for clues. You're the one doing the detective work, not Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think they're just kind of, they're so inherently different. To make one cross over to the other, you have to make a lot of changes.
Yeah.
And people don't like change. So that's hard. And movie executives don't understand what makes video games good, you know. You just because it's a good video game doesn't mean it'll be a good movie. That's why Mario, I think, is a perfect example. Mario is one of the best names in video gaming.
Totally.
He has hundreds of games, and most of them are very good. There is basically no story in Mario.
Right.
And that's what you
Even
need
the
to make a
3D
good
ones?
movie. Yeah, even the 3D ones.
Really?
I mean, the story is like Princess Peach got captured,
Yeah.
go save her. Like, all the 3D ones do differently is 3D platforming instead of 2D platforming, you know? They're not like these big epic like tales.
Right.
They're like, you even just in the trailer, we've seen how much they had to add to make it interesting. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think
which
it's
is fine,
subject.
but I think people need to like let go a little bit and let them go nuts with this. Like, it's gonna have to be very different from the video games in the terms of like, oh look, the penguins have an ice palace and they live here. It's like, nuh-uh, they live on Jamboree level 3, stage 12.
3-2.
It's like they're not gonna call it that in a movie.
Right,
They're not gonna do that.
Of course not.
And that would be stupid. So you have to make changes and you have to like stick to a concise, clear plot narrative, I think, in order to make a movie work, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's such an interesting thing to me because some of the best stories ever told are in video games. You know, like,
yeah, but you're so intricately involved.
Right.
Sometimes
So
not, though.
let's
So, like,
take-
Uncharted I keep going back to
Right.
Uncharted. The story in Uncharted is set. There's
So-
not really anything you can do to change the story.
Do you think Last of Us is going to be good? The
I
TV
think
show?
The Last of Us will be good, yes.
Because it's similar to Uncharted, right?
I think because, first and foremost, the thing that makes The Last of Us good is its story.
Right.
The gameplay is secondary. The graphics are secondary.
Sure.
There's again, the Last of Us. So when it comes down to it, PlayStation's biggest titles are movies
Right. Yeah, sure.
that have been turned into games.
Right.
essentially. Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War. What else?
You think a God of War movie would be good?
God of War movie would be
So do you think
excellent.
TV shows fit video games better than movies, or do you think movies can?
I think
do
TV.
justice
I
to
was just
video
gonna
games?
say that. I was just gonna say I think one of the issues that video game movies have
Uh-huh.
is that they have this 25 plus hour story
Right.
that they have to work into a 2-hour movie.
Definitely.
And so one option is to do that 25 hours justice
right.
and turn it into 50 and do a show, and go beat by beat and do every single story thing. And then, add in,
But
because then
part
you
of
have
that-
time for the side quests and you have time for the,
Right, but part of that 25 hours though is gameplay. It's because you have to actually ride the horse across the land, or you have to drive your car.
sometimes
or-
it depends
and
on the
in-
game.
And in movies, it's like you basically fast travel in movies, right? Like you even if it's like a long travel sequence, it's like a compilation. It's
Sure.
like you see walking here.
Okay,
and
fine.
walking
But
there and
even if you
flying
cut
there.
that 25 hours in half, you still got 13 hours.
Sure, but like let's take Avengers, Endgame, and Infinity War. If that was a video game, you have what 5.5, 6 hours of content there, right? In the movie,
What? In Infinity War?
Infinity War plus Endgame.
Oh.
It's one story.
Probably, 5 hours-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
So if that was a video game, like that would be way longer.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Like that during that 5 years.
What's your point, though? I don't.
Well, during that 5 years, you might actually be playing. You might play during the 5 years where
Sure.
the snap was gone.
Yeah.
Maybe you were playing as Hawkeye, or
Yeah.
during that time, or something like that.
Right.
So there should be a way to condense a story into 2.5 hours, is what I'm saying. Like movies do it well all the time. They tell these big giant. I mean, Lord of the Rings has
And the extended editions still
sure
don't do justice to the books,
Well, of
and
course
they're
not.
4 hours long.
Of course not. However, they're still great movies. They still tell a massive epic adventure story, so I think a TV show does fit it better, but what I have a difficult time doing every time is like literally, as we were talking about Endgame and Infinity War just now, is like, well, that game would suck. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to
totally.
play that
That's what
video
I'm
game.
saying.
Like that game's terrible.
But we're not talking about turning movies into video games. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, but
That's-
it's funny though, it doesn't cross over. Video games
don't know
based
what
off
you're saying.
movies are bad too.
that's not always true.
It's almost as true as movies.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it is a different type of story. Like
I mean, Spider-Man 2 is one of the greatest video games ever made.
that's because you're playing Spider-Man. It also doesn't follow the story of the movie, really.
No, it does. It totally does. It adds a whole lot, but
That's what I mean. It adds a bunch to it. If you just played the movie story, it wouldn't be a good game.
sure. Yeah, I think the problem though is, I mean, think of something like Knights of the Old Republic. I freaking dare you to write me a 2-hour script that would work for that game.
Definitely, but I don't even think a show would be good.
I disagree.
What
I
is
think
Knights
a
of the
show
Old
would be-
Republic?
I think a show is literally perfect for Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old
They're
Republic
fetch
is
quests.
fetch quests.
Yes,
Exactly.
and that's
Like, is
perfect
that
for a TV show.
entertaining to watch, though.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, it's so entertaining. Have you watched The Mandalorian? The Mandalorian
Yeah.
is Fetch Quest the movie. Like,
I mean, kind of. But
I want you to picture 3-episode story arcs of each planet. Manon, Korriban, Kashyyyk, like Tatooine.
yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I don't see that translating. though.
I do.
Like,
I think that would be
it's the
so
same
good.
thing- It's the same thing. Like every time we talk about adapting Zelda, every idea that I've ever heard someone come up with, I just don't think it would be good.
You haven't heard my pitch for Majora's Mask yet.
Not for Majora's Mask, but I've heard your pitch for other Zelda stuff.
Have you?
Yeah. And I don't know. It's just like, because a lot of video games, that's what I was going to say. A lot of video games are really just a bunch of fetch quests.
Yeah.
And I mean, same with Dragon Age Origins, one of my favorite games ever.
Okay,
is
I
a bunch
had
of
a
fetch
thought.
quests.
I had a thought. I think it would be easier to make a good movie out of Mario that has no story or very the thing about Mario is it's got basically a skeleton crew when it comes to the story and the plot and the development and the world building, okay?
Yeah.
Drastic opposite Knights of the Old Republic. It's all story and plot and world building and
Sure.
all that. I think it would be much easier to make a good movie out of a Mario than a Knights of the Old Republic.
I agree.
Because with Knights of the Old Republic, if we're going to do a movie, you've got 2.5 hours max. Like, that's what the studio gives you, okay? You have to fit Coder into that. You're going to be leaving out a lot of important details. You're going to be skipping a lot of interesting things.
Yep.
And you're going to be trimming back a lot of what makes Knights of the Old Republic good. The thing with Mario, what makes that good is gameplay. So while you can't take gameplay to the screen, what you can do is you can add all of the stuff that is left out before,
right,
and make it really good.
So this is kind of how I partially, and I've heard a lot of people feel about episode 9, it being just a series of fetch quests, and that's why some people don't like the movie and feel like it drags on because they go to get one thing and then they have to go to talk to someone else and then they talk to someone else who tells them they need another thing and then they go get the other thing and then they finally go to the battle at the end.
Yeah.
And once that's pointed out to you, or at least once it was pointed out to me, every time I like watch the movie or think about it, I'm like, man, that's true. Like, but then if I think about episode 9 as a
what
video
about Raiders
game,
of the Lost Ark?
but if I think about episode 9 as a video game, I feel like that actually translates a little bit better because of
I don't understand.
As opposed to Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you could make a better episode 9 video game than you could Infinity War and Endgame because of the type of story it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
But I'm saying
you said I don't understand.
Video game movies. I didn't say you didn't understand.
I know. I'm saying it's the same thing. I'm saying it translates. It like you can't make the same way you can't make a video game movie. You can't make a movie video game.
Well, but I'm
More
saying you
often
can
than
make
not,
a
they
video
both
game movie.
suck.
I'm saying you can, and the reason that people are doing it wrong is because they're trying to make movies out of Coder instead of out of Mario.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree.
So
I agree
I
with
think
that.
the Mario movie has potential because everything they've added so far, I think, is the cat's pajamas.
Sure.
I think it looks great.
Please don't
like-
ever say that again.
What?
The cat's pajamas.
The Mario,
You think it's cool?
the Mario cat's pajamas?
Stop.
Mario
does wear cat pajamas though.
That's what I'm saying. That
Do you
was
think we'll
that was
see
a
cat
very
pajamas
intentional
in Mario?
reference. I'm kind of upset that you
Will we see cat pajamas in the movie?
maybe
I don't think so. I think they're
maybe
saving
in
that.
the third
I
one.
think they're saving that for the sequel.
Yeah.
So but what you just said, that backs me up when I say I don't think Coder or Zelda would make a good movie.
I don't think Coder would make a good movie. I agree. I think Coder would make a good trilogy or
Possibly.
series.
Possibly.
I think Coder would be a great series. I really don't want them to try and do that in a movie. Like I said, I dare you to write me a 2-hour script of that.
Right.
Good freaking luck.
Yeah.
It either would be so different that it's not even worth it, or it would just not make sense and be bad.
Yeah, well, what would happen is instead of you going to all 5 planets to find the star maps, you would send 5 different teams out to go find the star maps.
Oh, so it could happen.
So it would be happening.
Or they
all at
just
the
do it
same
in a
time,
montage, you know.
Well, yeah, but movies don't do a lot of montages like that. Like
What are you talking about?
I mean, not with as big of the star maps are a big deal. Like every individual star.
Well, that's
map
what I'm
is a big
saying
deal.
is time-wise, though, you don't have enough time. So, like, if you want to do that whole game, like, the core part of it, searching for star maps, would get
Right.
reduced to a montage.
Yeah, or Karth would have a team that goes to find one.
Sure, yeah,
you would
sure.
have a team that goes to find one. Mission would go find.
But still, it would be like a 15-minute segment.
Right, exactly, and it would be overall be disappointing because that's not what makes the star maps cool. What makes the star maps cool is your character finding those.
Well,
I think that's the other
story on
thing
each-
that is different about video games and movies. Like, yes, movies have a main character, but movies focus more on the ensemble than the main character But I feel like a lot of video games, especially when it comes to RPGs, really puts you in the shoes of the character more so than the movie. I'm not saying movies don't do that. I'm saying more often than not, movies rely more so on the cast.
Yeah, I think that's the
games do.
inherent issue is like in the video game, you are the main character.
Right, exactly.
In the movie, you can empathize with the main character.
Right.
It might even be told from their perspective.
Right.
But in the video game, you are the main character. Like,
yeah. So I think I agree. I mean, I do agree in the way that they do have to be changed. And I just think most of the time those changes that we've seen haven't been good.
That's not even true, though, because we're making, like, generalizations. Because, like, Uncharted, you're not Nathan Drake. You're just watching Nathan Drake. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it feels like you're Nathan Drake because...
Not really, especially in third-person games, I don't think. I don't feel like I'm Spider-Man, like, when I play Spider-Man.
Let's use Call of Duty as an example, because Call of Duty is similar to the, like, you were just walking through a story kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, when I played Modern Warfare, like, I felt like soap. Like,
yeah,
like that's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if a Modern Warfare movie would be that good.
I think that's the worst 3 words I've ever heard out loud.
Modern Warfare movie.
That would be...
That's the thing, though, is
would be terrible.
It's a good story.
Yeah, but it's
a good but you just said that games like that translate better to movies.
That's true. I'm just the idea of Activision and
sure, but that's
all
not
of that.
We're talking about just the game by itself.
Yeah.
Story, like
sure.
the story of
if they took the Modern Warfare and made it into a movie, I actually think that could work.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it would just feel so different, you know, because like you would be, like you said, you would be watching the narrative of the movie. You might be able to empathize with Soap, but you don't actually feel like Soap, because when you play that game,
right.
you feel like Soap.
Right.
Because even though you are kind of going through a level that is very linear and there's not much you can do, you still choose what corners to go around, and you still like, and then if you die, you know, like, oh, bad guy here, bad guy here. You know?
That's what I'm saying, is it's a different experience. You have to trade some of that stuff. But if you trade that stuff for great cinematography, excellent acting, good budget, like, you know what I mean? And the fact is, movies are so much cheaper to make than video games. So much. Like, sometimes 1/10 of the price.
And they make more money.
That's not true. That's definitely not true.
You don't think so?
Not even kind of.
You don't think the profit margin is larger on a... video games.
That's a different statement.
Okay, it makes the studio more money.
No, it doesn't. It makes less money. No. It makes more profit. It makes less money.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. If I spend $100 million on a video game and I make a video game and I make $102 million off the video game, then I made $2 million. That's how much money I made.
Okay, right.
But if I make a movie and I spend $2 million on it and it makes $50 million, I made more money on the movie than the video game.
In that circumstance, yes. But that's not how it works.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, video games spend $200 million and then they make like $500 million. They made $300 million.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
the profit margin on video games is very small and is getting worse.
Okay, yes, the profit margin is small. Fine.
200 to
whatever. You're not listening.
That's not a small profit
You are not
margin.
listening. They make more money for the studio regardless of the profit margin. A movie will make you $12 million and a video game will make you 15. That's all I'm saying. Video games make more money.
Okay.
Whatever the numbers are.
Sure.
Okay.
Movies are more profitable.
Yes. That's
what
true.
I'm saying.
Okay, but saying they make more money is not the same thing because that's just false.
Okay. Movies
are more profitable. Agreed, because they
I think
require
it's a good
less
thing.
Money up
so
front.
let's go off the point of what I'm trying to say there. It's a good thing for studios to make movies.
Yes.
Because if studios can make so look at Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk was a garbage pit when it came out. They improved the game. They got it to the point to where it's a good game, but no one wanted to play it still because of the massive failure it was when it came out. Cyberpunk made a Netflix show, a really good Netflix show from what I've heard. I personally haven't watched it. You should watch it. I think you'd really like it. They made a really good Netflix show. Why you gotta sneeze while I'm talking?
Just keep talking.
Why
do you gotta stop talking? It's a podcast.
They made a really good Netflix show, and Cyberpunk hit its all-time highest player count on PC alone.
Right.
That doesn't include all the people who got Xbox and PlayStation and to play the game, right?
Right.
So it's a good thing to have movies and TV shows for these studios. I think they really need to start figuring out how to make them appealing and make good content out of them, because I think it will really help them.
Yeah, well, I think they're getting there. Cyberpunk show was good. The Witcher show was very good.
Witcher did the same thing. They hit like a really high player count.
No, they hit. Did you say Cyberpunk hit its highest?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Witcher did too.
Yeah, it did. It beat launch day, which is almost unheard of.
Yeah, that's crazy. So this is something that studios need to figure out, and I think they're starting to.
I think once they get it figured out and start making quality content, like, it will drive people to their video games, which is the real like money maker.
So there's a theory out there that they have been working on a new 2D Mario, and
oh no, that's it confirmed.
Well, the theory is that they're gonna drop it like right after the movie comes out.
I hope so. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And then
March is a great time for a Mario game.
CD Projekt Red is working on their new IP, and some people think
they're working on new IP
or a new game, maybe not a new IP.
They're working on The Witcher.
Is that what they're doing?
Witcher 4.
Well, they think they're gonna try and drop the game around the release of the show, same kind of time.
Okay.
So this is like that's a good thing. Like, this is, imagine if we get a Black Panther movie right when the
Marvel's never gonna get their shit together.
You know, like,
that
well,
I wouldn't count on that.
I can hope.
The way that Marvel is doing video games right now is really making me mad.
Yeah.
Star Wars is getting better,
Hey,
but
Midnight Suns and Marvel Snap.
I'm really upset. I don't get how Insomniac Spider-Man comes out and they're like, we shouldn't do that for everything. We should make dumb mobile games instead.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. Guardians was great, but that was a fluke. So
yeah, I mean, there's hope. There's some stuff in the works that looks really good.
Point being, I think it is possible to make good video game movies. I think people just need to spend more time in the development stage.
Yeah, and I think consumers need to change what they expect. I think we need to not expect a like video game experience from a movie. I also think that we need to start seeing.
I don't think consumers are the ones at fault. I think again, if you list the movies of like video game movies, most of them are actually bad.
Let me follow up what I was gonna say there. Like, I think people who want a Zelda movie want a movie about Link, naturally, right?
Yeah.
But maybe the best Zelda movie they could make just takes place in the Zelda universe about a Hylian. Like, maybe that's not a perfect example, because if they make Zelda content, obviously I want.
If they make Zelda content without Link, I'm not gonna watch
that's
it.
what I'm saying though. But let's say the Dragon Age show that's coming out. Like,
I'll give you a better example. Okay, if they make a Zelda movie, Link will speak, and you're gonna have to get over that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're gonna have to change some things. Guess where he's gonna get the Master Sword? He's gonna get it right where he's supposed to, but he's not gonna go through a weird little tunnel maze to get there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's gonna be a lot of things that are changed about the Zelda formula.
They could make a really cool Lost Woods scene.
They could make a super cool Lost Woods scenes, but it's not gonna be a top-down 2D.
Well, no.
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When they emulate shots like that from video games, like there's that one movie that's totally first person, Hardcore Henry, I think it's called. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's like this the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, he's carrying his gun and jumping like this, and it looks stupid. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that. Also, it makes you sick.
Totally.
Like, if I want to watch a movie about Modern Warfare 2, I want it to be a war movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do what Marvel's been doing. Take your existing IP. Think, what kind of movie could we make out of Zelda? A really, really good action adventure film. Like, fantasy. Absolutely. That would be so good. And it could be epic, and it could be, like, scary, and it could be, like, good versus evil, and, like, light versus dark, and all of that. You could make a Star Wars-esque, Lord of the Rings-esque movie out of a Zelda. Like, it could be a 10 out of 10. But don't make, like, don't recreate the stupid puzzle games that he's doing with the chickens and the slingshot. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely. But again, though,
take what works.
I think
Too many times in video game movies, they do stuff like that. They take the dumb little random side games and try to make something out. It's like, that's not what Zelda's about, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I kept interrupting you.
No, you're fine. But I do think there is something.
What I'm trying to. I'm just kidding.
This will be the last episode of the Player to Player podcast,
and the first episode of the Kirk to Kirk podcast. I will be filming myself twice.
Yeah, just on both sides. Right.
He'll just be listening.
Nope.
No, I mean the me over there. Yeah. I could just mirror the camera.
Oh my gosh. What I was trying to say is, I think we should also be more willing to see content from the same universe as opposed to about the same character.
I think it depends, but I'm
like the Dragon Age show that is going to come out.
A Mario movie without Mario.
Like, okay, that's not. Yeah, that's a little. I feel like that's a little different. But so let's talk about the Dragon Age show for a moment.
Age is different.
I don't think it's gonna have the hero for Elden,
it won't.
Kirkwall champion, or the Inquisitor.
No,
it won't have any of those guys.
No.
It might have some of the companions, but like that'll be it. Might not even be the main character.
So I get what you're saying, but I also think that's kind of a perfect example of what I was just saying. The best part about Dragon Age is what?
The hero.
The world building. The world building in Dragon Age is Tolkien-esque.
Yep.
Like, it is so good.
Yeah.
And it's so detailed, and the history is so rich, and the characters and the races and the towns, all of it are super interesting.
Right.
So if you're going to make a show about Dragon Age, you take the best aspect, the world building, and you work off of that, right? The best aspect of Zelda is Link. The best aspect of Mario is Mario.
That's true.
But you know what I mean? Like,
sure. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Like, if you were gonna make a Sifu movie, you know that the game where you age like every time you die instead, and you make a karate movie because the best part of that is the combat. You know what I mean? Like, but what you don't do is make a choose your own adventure Netflix movie, so that you can like decide which way to like. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So let's talk about that for a moment. Do you think in any possible way a choose your own adventure Netflix show could be any good?
No, Bandersnatch was garbage.
I didn't watch that.
It sucked.
You don't think there's any chance that it could
I don't think so. I also don't think it's the future. I also don't think it's viable until you can make decisions with your brain and think to the TV.
Yeah,
it's not going to work.
So one of the coolest ideas I've heard though is
if they could combine a movie, film, TV show, and VR somehow.
Sure.
Where you can talk and if you could cool. really actually do that, then it would work.
The best I've heard is
like, for example, sorry, I was kidding.
We're about to have an H3 frenemies fight here.
We should order pizza.
No, we should not. Todd and I were talking about
Todd, friend of the show.
Yeah, he's actually on the podcast. If you listen to the episode, you would know what we're about to talk about. Fallen Order. We were talking about if we see Cal in any kind of
I
Disney
think
Plus
so.
show, how it would be really cool to have an option before every episode to select your lightsaber color based off it would be just
Stupid.
no, whatever. That would be so cool.
No, that's
You're the
stupid.
first person to say that's dumb. Everyone has said
No,
that.
that's stupid.
No.
What you do is you link it to your PlayStation account, and then it knows all the decisions you made when you had what color and what poncho you were wearing.
Okay, that's the same thing.
Yeah, but you
That
link.
gets you the same result.
You don't have to do it every time before the episode.
It doesn't
you just
matter.
link it to your PlayStation
No,
account.
not every time before the episode. Just you start the show, you select your color and your poncho, sure, and then you get to watch. Tell me that wouldn't be. Awesome.
I don't think that's cool. I think it's funny.
I think it would be cool.
I think that's funny,
I
but
think it'd be
I don't
cool.
think it's.
I think it'd be
That's
cool.
kind of dumb.
They'll never do it, especially
they
now
won't.
that they're using lightsabers. Like they're actually using light up
Yeah.
props. Like they have to film every single scene.
Each production
different-
changes. Cassian or Andor isn't using the volume at all. Every shot in that show is practical sets and on location and all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that's more or less expensive?
More definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. I wonder why they would be doing that.
Because it looks better.
You think so?
Yeah.
The Mandalorian looks amazing.
It looks very good. Yeah. It's almost you can't tell. Like there are some shots where they're outside. I'm like, yeah, that looks like outside
it looks
to me.
phenomenal.
But being outside is better than pretending to be outside always.
For now.
No, always.
For now.
Whatever.
For now.
You're dumb.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up our video game
I
conversation.
think we've gotten to the point of rambling on that. But
A little bit.
again, if I could put a pin on it, I think it is possible to make good video game movies. You just have to focus on what makes that individual intellectual property or that individual story good, and then base your movie on that. Don't be afraid to change things. Don't be afraid to deviate, but make sure that the core of what you're doing is
Or do the opposite, like with Mario. Instead of doing the gameplay, they're expounding on the story. Which is what you said.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying from like, yeah, sure. If you're going to do a Mario movie, add to it. All that.
Right.
If you're going to do a Coder movie, strip it down to what's important.
Right. No, I agree, and I am hopeful for the Mario movie. I'm a little bummed we didn't get to see Donkey Kong. I'm very excited.
I mean, he'll be in the
I'm
movie.
very excited
so.
to see Donkey Kong.
You're excited for Seth Rogen?
Yes, I think he will do a great Donkey Kong, and I hope he doesn't even talk. I hope
Hey,
it's
Mario.
just monkey noises.
Oh no, he'll talk.
I know, but like his yes, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be.
I'm stoked for Charlie
I
Day
would
Luigi.
Oh yeah, that'll be good too.
Even just the one little like he did
Yeah.
in the trailer, I was like, oh, this is gonna be
Yeah.
awesome.
No, I would not be surprised if Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong is the best part of the movie.
I think Keegan-Michael Key's Toad is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
cool that they changed his voice and like pitched it up and
Right.
stuff. You know,
Right.
I wish they had done that for Bowser a little bit. Just pitched his voice down and made it more dragony.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would have helped, especially with the one line that you were talking about, because that was the
Yeah.
line that I was like, oh, "That's Jack Black."
Yeah.
Like that feels like Jack Black.
Yeah.
Speaking of voice acting, do you know what they did for BB-8 in episode 7?
Yeah.
Where they had someone like talk into one of those
They had two different people do it. They had the guy who plays Gianralphio in Parks and Rec also plays Sonic. What's his name?
Not sure.
I forget his name. He's funny. And then another also funny guy. Oh, what's his name? I got his face in my head. He's from Hot Rod. You seen Hot Rod?
Unfortunately.
He's the guy who's like, hospital, trash can. Right. Thanks, buddy. Your face looks like a mountain.
Yeah. No, I
Gosh,
don't
dang
remember.
it.
Don't remember.
I hate when this happens on the podcast. My brain just goes, yung. Anyways,
Yeah.
two very funny guys. They just made beep, beep, boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I watched an
Boop, boop,
interview
boop,
with one of
boop.
them, and he was like, "Yeah,
Ben Schwartz. That's
oh, okay."
Ben Schwartz and the
Yeah.
other guy.
He was like, "I got a
Bill
call from-"
Hader. There it is.
There you go.
You just had to talk.
Yeah, exactly. your inherent need to interrupt me had to kick in.
Oh,
Yeah. So
it's important now.
I don't know which one it was, but he was like, I got a call from JJ, and he was like, "Do you want to be in Star Wars?" And I was like, "Yes, of course I want to be in Star Wars." And I voiced BB-8, like, which I thought was pretty amazing. But
That'd be so fun. Well,
what have you been playing?
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's still 75 degrees outside.
Gross.
It'll be over soon.
Hopefully.
Whatever.
I haven't been playing. I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of movies.
I've been watching a lot of shows.
What have you been watching?
Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
You have Apple TV?
I got 3 months free with my phone.
Oh.
Ted Lasso was really good. I watched Severance, which is like
Also
a
on
sci-fi
Apple
show.
TV?
Also very good. I'm watching The Morning Show with
So
Steve Carell and Jennifer
Apple
Aniston.
TV, for some reason, I always thought you needed the actual Apple TV box. No. You can
You just get the app.
get
It's
the
on
app and-
our TV.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of horror movies.
Oh, of course. October
Trying to watch 31 movies in 31 days.
You're trying to?
That's the goal.
So you failed.
No, I'm actually, today's the 10th, and I will actually be at, well, I'll be at 10 today.
So you haven't been watching one a day.
No, one day I watched 2. I never said I was going to do 1 a day.
Yes,
I
you
said I was
did.
going to watch 31 movies in 31 days.
That's deceitful.
That's what I'm doing. 1 a day is difficult, okay? But
Whatever.
I rewatched the entire Scream franchise, watched all the Fear Street stuff, and watched Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I need to play something. I gotta go back to our October list.
Did you
and play
finish
some of those
Spider-Man yet?
games. No, I've been out of town for like 10 days, so I'm
Steam Deck.
gonna finish Spider-Man for sure, and then I'll probably play Firewatch or something like that this month too. So
Nice.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. Go ahead and leave a comment about what you think about video game movies. Do you have any favorites? Are there any ones that you've seen that you think are good? Are there any ones that you've seen that you think are really bad? Do you think we can make good video game movies? Is that even possible? What do you think of the Mario thing? What do you think of Mario's butt? It's not really there. So we'd love to hear all your thoughts on that because you're beautiful people and you matter to us. So go for a walk today.
Matter. Hardly not.
Oh my goodness. Bye.